Caroline is 29 years old. She has a job that pays $52,000 per year. She has about $4,000 in credit card debt. She has maybe $300 in her checking account. No savings, no investments, no retirement account. Caroline looks at the news. Interest rates are high. Housing prices are insane. Everyone is talking about AI taking jobs. The economy feels scary and uncertain. Caroline feels hopeless. She thinks the game is rigged. She thinks people like her can never build wealth, so she does nothing. She keeps living paycheck to paycheck. She figures she will worry about retirement later, maybe when she is 40. The second person is named Nathan. Nathan is also 29 years old. He also earns $52,000 per year. He also has $4,000 in credit card debt and almost nothing in the bank. Nathan looks at the same news. He sees the same scary headlines, but Nathan does something different. Nathan decides that 2026 is actually a perfect time to start. He realizes that he has decades ahead of him. He understands that starting from zero is not a death sentence, it is just a starting point. Nathan follows a specific plan, a mathematical plan, a boring plan that actually works. 5 years later, Nathan has over $100,000 in net worth. Caroline, she is still exactly where she started. Maybe a little worse, because inflation made everything more expensive. Same starting point, same income, same economy, completely different outcomes. The difference was not luck. It was not a hot stock tip. It was not cryptocurrency. The difference was that Nathan followed the correct order of operations for building wealth. And today I am going to give you the exact blueprint that Nathan followed. This is not theory. This is not motivation. This is pure math combined with human psychology. I am going to walk you through 4 phases. Phase 1. The foundation, destroying what holds you back. Phase 2. The buffer, protecting yourself from life. Phase 3. The portfolio, actually investing your money. Phase 4. The tax shield, keeping more of what you earn, plus a bonus phase, about increasing your income, because you cannot save your way to wealth on a tiny salary. If you want to treat this video like a free financial education, subscribe and hit the like button. Let us build your blueprint. Before we talk about investing, we need to talk about the invisible anchor that drags most people backward: debt. Specifically, high-interest debt, like credit cards. Let me tell you about a man named Wesley. Wesley is 33 years old. He earns $65,000 per year. He reads about investing. He wants to build wealth. Wesley has $8,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. Wesley also has an investment app on his phone. Every month, he puts $200 into the stock market. He buys index funds. He feels good about himself. He is investing, but Wesley is making a huge mistake. Let us do the math. Wesley invests $200 per month. The stock market historically returns about 10% per year on average. After 1 year, Wesley might have about $2,400, plus maybe $120 in gains. Meanwhile, Wesley's $8,000 credit card debt at 22% interest is costing him $1,760 per year in interest. Wesley's investments gained $120. His debt cost him $1,760. Wesley is losing over $1,600 per year while thinking he is building wealth. This is what I call the negative compounding trap. Most people think they can outinvest their debt. They cannot. The math does not allow it. Dave Ramsey has been screaming about this for decades in his book, The Total Money Makeover. He says that trying to invest while carrying high-interest debt is like trying to run a race with a broken leg. You need to fix the leg first. Here is the rule. Paying off debt with a 22% interest rate is the same as earning a guaranteed 22% return on your money. Where else can you get a guaranteed 22% return? Nowhere. Not in stocks. Not in real estate. Not in crypto. Nowhere. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor alive, has averaged about 20% returns over his career. Paying off your credit card beats Warren Buffett, and it is guaranteed. The debt payoff protocol. Step 1. List every debt you have. Write down the name, the balance, and the interest rate. Step 2. Organize them from highest interest rate to lowest. Ignore the balance size. Only focus on the rate. Step 3. Pay the minimum on every debt except the highest rate one. Step 4. Throw every extra dollar at the highest rate debt. Attack it with everything you have. Step 5. When that debt is dead, take that entire payment and add it to the next highest rate debt. This is called the debt avalanche method. It saves you the most money mathematically. Some people prefer the debt snowball method. where you pay off the smallest balance first. Dave Ramsey recommends this because the quick wins keep you motivated. Either method works. The important thing is to pick one and attack. Let me tell you about a woman named Brianna. Brianna had $12,000 in credit card debt. She felt overwhelmed. She had been making minimum payments for years and getting nowhere. Brianna got serious. She canceled subscriptions she did not need. She sold things she did not use. She picked up extra shifts at work. She stopped eating out. Brianna put every extra dollar toward her debt. 14 months later, Brianna was debt-free. Then something interesting happened. Brianna had been paying about $800 per month toward her debt. Now that money was free. She did not increase her lifestyle. She took that $800 and moved to the next phase. But here is something most people do not understand about debt. The cost is not just the interest rate. The cost is psychological. When you owe money, you are afraid. You are afraid to ask for a raise because you cannot risk losing your job. You are afraid to move to a new city for a better opportunity. You are afraid to start a business or take any risk. Debt creates a scarcity mindset. It keeps you playing defense when you should be playing offense. Morgan Housel explains this in The Psychology of Money. He writes that money's greatest value is giving you control over your time and options. Debt takes that control away. Clearing your debt is not just a financial move. It is a psychological unlock that allows you to play offense for the rest of your life. Congratulations, your high-interest debt is gone. Now you want to start investing. You want to buy stocks. You want to put your money to work. If you invest now, you will probably fail within 18 months. Here is why. Life happens. Your car breaks down. You need a $3,000 repair. You get sick. You have a $2,000 medical bill. You lose your job. You need money for rent and food. If all your money is in the stock market and you face an emergency, you have to sell your investments to pay for it. But what if the market is down 20% when your car breaks? You sell at a loss. You lock in that loss permanently. Your compounding is destroyed. This is why you need a buffer, a cash fortress, an emergency fund. Let me tell you about two investors named Dustin and Melanie. Both have jobs. Both invest $500 per month into the stock market. Dustin puts everything into investments. He has no cash savings. He thinks cash is trash because inflation erodes it. Melanie invests $400 per month. She keeps $100 per month in a high-yield savings account. She builds up $10,000 in cash savings. Then she invests everything after that. The market drops 20%. Then both Dustin and Melanie lose their jobs. What happens? Dustin has no cash. He has to sell his investments to pay rent. He sells at the bottom of the market. He locks in a 20% loss. He spends his entire portfolio on survival. Melanie uses her cash savings. She does not touch her investments. She lives on her emergency fund while she finds a new job. 3 months later, the market recovers. Dustin has nothing. Melanie's portfolio is back to where it was, and she has started rebuilding her emergency fund. Same situation, different outcomes. The difference was the cash buffer. The math is clear. The person who never has to sell at the wrong time wins. J.L. Collins wrote about this in The Simple Path to Wealth. He calls the emergency fund EFU money. It is the money that lets you say no to bad situations. It is the money that lets you walk away from a terrible job. It is the money that lets you sleep at night. How much should your buffer be? Calculate your bare-bones monthly survival number. This includes rent or mortgage, utilities, basic groceries, transportation, gas or bus fare, insurance premiums, minimum debt payments. This is your survival number, not your comfortable lifestyle number. Your absolute minimum. Multiply this by 3. That is your minimum emergency fund. Eventually, work up to 6 months of expenses for true security. Where should you keep this money? In 2026, you have good options. High-yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 5% interest. This is not amazing, but it is something. Money market funds are similar. The key is liquidity. You need to be able to access this money within 1 to 2 days. No stocks. No CDs with penalties. No investments that can go down. The psychology of the buffer here is something most people do not understand. Having 3 to 6 months of expenses in the bank changes how you walk through the world. When you have a buffer, you negotiate differently. You are not desperate. You can say no to bad deals. You can wait for the right opportunity. When you have no buffer, you are scared. You accept whatever is offered because you cannot afford to say no. A 2024 study from Vanguard found that people with at least $2,000 in emergency savings had financial well-being scores 21% higher than those without any savings. That was the biggest boost of any financial factor they measured. The buffer is not just about the money. It is about the psychology. The buffer protocol. Step 1. Calculate your monthly survival number. Step 2. Multiply by 3 to get your target. Step 3. Open a high-yield savings account. Many online banks offer these. Step 4. Automate a transfer every payday until you hit the target. Step 5. Once you hit the target, pretend this money does not exist. It is not for vacations. It is not for a new phone. It is for emergencies only. Only when this bucket is full do you start investing. Your debt is gone. Your buffer is built. You have extra money every month. Now you are ready to actually invest. This is where most people mess everything up. They get excited. They want to pick the next Amazon. They want to find the hot stock before everyone else. They want to trade cryptocurrency and options. Let me tell you what actually happens. The stock picking myth. There is a belief that smart people can pick winning stocks. If you just do enough research, you can beat the market. This belief costs people millions of dollars every year. Let me show you the data. S&P Global publishes something called the SPIVA scorecard. This tracks how professional fund managers perform against the simple S&P 500 index. The results are brutal. Over a 15-year period, more than 90% of professional fund managers fail to beat the index. These are people with Harvard MBAs. They have Bloomberg terminals that cost thousands of dollars per month. They have teams of analysts. They study stocks all day, every day. And 90% of them cannot beat a simple index fund that anyone can buy. If professionals with every advantage cannot do it, what chance does someone with a day job have? Burton Malkiel wrote about this in his classic book, A Random Walk Down Wall Street. He explained that stock prices already reflect all available information. Trying to beat the market through stock picking is like trying to predict which raindrop will hit the ground first. Here's the simple truth. If you buy the entire market through an index fund, you are guaranteed to get the market's return. The market's return has historically been about 10% per year before inflation, about 7% after inflation. Is 10% exciting? No. But let us see what boring 10% actually does. If you invest $500 per month at 10% annual return, after 10 years, about $102,000. After 20 years, about $379,000. After 30 years, about $1,130,000. You become a millionaire by being average, by being boring, by not trying to be clever. The core satellite approach. I understand that humans crave excitement. We want to feel like we are doing something to earn our wealth. This is why people day trade and buy meme stocks. They are paying fees and taking risks just to feel involved. Here is how to hack your own brain. Put 90% of your money into boring, low-cost index funds. This is your core. It is automated. You never touch it. Then take the remaining 10%, strictly only 10%, and allow yourself to experiment. This is your satellite. If you want to buy individual stocks, do it here. If you want to buy cryptocurrency, do it here. If you want to try something speculative, do it here. If this 10% goes to zero, your financial life is fine. If it goes to the moon, great. This scratches the itch to gamble without blowing up your entire plan. What should you actually buy? For your core 90%, keep it simple. A total US stock market index fund, like VTI or FXAIX. Maybe some international exposure, like VXUS. That is it. Fees matter enormously. Look for expense ratios below 0.10%. Many index funds charge 0.03%. That is, $3 per year for every $10,000 invested. Some actively managed funds charge 1% or more. That is $100 per year for every $10,000. Over 30 years, that fee difference can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. The investment protocol. Step 1. Open an investment account. We will talk about which type in the next section. Step 2. Choose one or two low-cost index funds for your core holdings. Step 3. Set up automatic contributions every payday. Step 4. Do not look at it. Seriously, check it once per quarter at most. Step 5. If you must scratch the gambling itch, use only 10% of your money. Ramit Sethi calls this automating your finances in his book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. He says the best financial system is one you do not have to think about. Set it up once and let it run. You can pick the perfect investments. You can automate everything. You can be patient for decades and still lose 30% of your wealth. How? Taxes. Most people ignore taxes when they think about investing. They focus on returns. But returns do not matter if the government takes a huge slice. Let me explain with a simple example. You invest $10,000. It grows to $100,000 over 30 years. In a regular taxable brokerage account, when you sell that investment, you pay capital gains taxes on the $90,000 gain. At current rates, that might be 15 to 20%. That is $13,500 to $18,000 gone. In a Roth IRA, following the rules, that same withdrawal is completely tax-free. You keep the full $100,000. The difference is not better stock picking. The difference is account selection. The tax-advantaged account waterfall, there is a specific order for filling your investment accounts. Following this order can save you tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Step 1. 401k, up to the employer match. If your employer offers a 401k with matching contributions, this is free money, literally free. A common match is 50 cents for every dollar you contribute, up to 6% of your salary. If you earn $60,000 and contribute 6%, $3,600, your employer adds $1,800 for free. That is a 50% instant return. Before any investment gains. No investment can guarantee a 50% instant return. Take the free money first. Step 2. Max out a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is one of the best deals in the tax code. You contribute money that you have already paid taxes on. The money grows tax-free. When you withdraw in retirement, you pay zero taxes. For 2025, you can contribute up to $7,000 per year. The limits may be slightly higher in 2026. The Roth IRA also gives you control. You choose your own investments. You can buy any low-cost index fund you want. You are not limited to your employer's menu. Step 3. HSA. If you are eligible, if you have a high-deductible health plan, you have access to a health savings account. The HSA is possibly the most powerful investment account in America. It has triple tax benefits. 1. Tax deduction on contributions. 2. Tax-free growth. 3. Tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses. No other account gives you tax benefits going in, while growing, and coming out. For 2025, you can contribute up to $4,300. The strategy is to pay medical expenses out of pocket if you can. Let the HSA money grow invested in the market, and use it tax-free in retirement when medical expenses are highest. According to Fidelity, the average couple retiring today needs over $315,000 for healthcare throughout retirement. An HSA can make those costs tax-free. Step 4. Max out the 401k. After you have gotten the match, funded your Roth IRA, and funded your HSA, go back to your 401k and fill it up. For 2025, you can contribute up to $23,500. Step 5. Taxable brokerage account. Only after all the tax-advantaged buckets are full do you put money into a regular taxable brokerage account. Taxable accounts are flexible. You can withdraw any time without penalty. But every dividend gets taxed. Every sale for profit gets taxed. The tax drag adds up over decades. The math of tax location, let me show you how powerful this is. Imagine you invest $500 per month for 30 years at 7% return. In tax-advantaged accounts, no tax drag. You end up with about $567,000. In taxable accounts, you end up with about $450,000. That is over $100,000 lost to taxes. Account selection is not sexy, but it might be the most important decision you make. The tax protocol. Step 1. Contribute to your 401k, up to the employer match. Get every dollar of free money. Step 2. Open and max out a Roth IRA. Step 3. If eligible, open and max out an HSA. Step 4. Increase your 401k contributions toward the maximum. Step 5. Only use taxable accounts after everything else is maxed. Everything I have talked about so far is about saving and investing what you already earn. But there is a hard limit on how much you can save. You cannot save more than you earn. You cannot cut expenses below zero. There is no limit on how much you can earn. If you really want to accelerate your wealth building, you need to increase your income. The latte myth. There is a popular belief that if you just skip your daily coffee, you will become rich. Let us do the math. A daily latte costs about $5. That is $1,825 per year. Is that a lot of money? Yes. Is it going to make you rich? No. If you earn $40,000 per year and save every penny of your latte money, you will have an extra $1,800 per year. In 30 years, invested at 7%, That becomes about $170,000. That is nice, but it is not life-changing wealth. Now imagine you increase your income by $10,000 per year. You save half of that $5,000 per year. In 30 years, invested at 7%, that becomes about $470,000. The income increase is almost 3 times more powerful than skipping lattes. You cannot budget your way to wealth on a low salary. You need to increase your earning power. 2 types of income increases. There are 2 ways to earn more money. Way 1. Side hustles. Driving for a rideshare app. Delivering food. Freelancing on weekends. These are linear income. You trade hours for dollars. When you stop working, you stop earning. Side hustles are fine for extra cash in the short term, but they do not scale. There are only so many hours in a week. Way 2. Skill investment. Learning a high-value skill that increases your primary salary. Examples: data analysis, project management, sales, coding, public speaking, leadership. A 20% raise on a $50,000 salary is $10,000 extra dollars per year, recurring every year, for the rest of your career. That raise also increases your 401k match. It increases your Social Security benefits. It increases every future raise, because future raises are usually percentages too. The math says to invest in your primary income engine first. The skill audit. Here is a simple exercise. Look at your current job. Ask yourself, what is the one skill that, if I mastered it, would make me undeniable? Maybe it is a software program everyone uses, but few people master. Maybe it is public speaking and presenting. Maybe it is understanding the business side of your industry. Maybe it is a certification that opens new doors. Identify that one skill, then dedicate 1 hour per day to mastering it. That is the hour you currently spend scrolling social media. That is the hour you spend watching TV. Redirect it. In 6 months, use that new skill to ask for a raise or apply for a better position. A 20% increase in your income makes every other phase of this plan work dramatically faster. The income protocol. Step 1. Calculate your current hourly rate salary divided by 2,000 hours. Step 2. Identify one high-value skill that would increase your earning potential. Step 3. Dedicate 1 hour per day to mastering that skill. Use free online resources. Step 4. After 3 to 6 months, ask for a raise or apply for a higher paying position. Step 5. When you earn more, save the difference. Do not let lifestyle creep eat your raise. Let me summarize the entire plan. Phase 1. The foundation. Kill all high-interest debt using the avalanche method. This is a guaranteed return equal to your interest rate. No investment can match it. Phase 2. The buffer. Build a cash fortress of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Put it in a high-yield savings account. This protects you from having to sell investments at the wrong time. Phase 3. The portfolio. Invest in boring, low-cost index funds. Put 90% in the core. Allow yourself 10% for speculation, if you must. Automate everything. Phase 4. The tax shield. Fill accounts in this order. 401k, up to match. Roth IRA, HSA, if eligible. Max out 401k, then taxable accounts. The order matters enormously. Bonus phase. The income engine. Invest in high-value skills that increase your primary salary. You cannot save your way to wealth on a low income. Increase your earning power. Let me show you exactly what this plan produces. Imagine someone named Patrick. Patrick starts 2026 with $0. He earns $55,000 per year. Year 1. Patrick pays off $4,000 in credit card debt. He builds a $5,000 emergency fund. He starts contributing to his 401k to get the employer match. Year 2. Patrick maxes out his Roth IRA for the first time. He continues getting his 401k match. Year 3. Patrick finishes his 6-month emergency fund. He increases his 401k contributions. Year 4. Patrick gets a promotion because he invested in his skills. His salary increases to $68,000. He starts maxing out his 401k. Year 5. Patrick opens and funds an HSA. He has over $100,000 in net worth. Patrick did not get lucky. He did not find a hot stock. He did not win the lottery. Patrick followed the math. The boring, predictable, guaranteed to-work math. Some people look at the economy and feel hopeless. Interest rates are high. Housing is expensive. AI is changing jobs. Everything feels uncertain. Here is a different way to see it. If you are starting from zero, you have no bad investments to recover from. You have a clean slate. High-yield savings accounts are paying 4 to 5%, the best in over a decade. Your emergency fund actually earns something. Market uncertainty means stocks might be cheaper than they were during the bubble years. Buying when prices are reasonable is better than buying at all-time highs. You have access to information that previous generations never had. You can learn anything for free. You can open investment accounts from your phone. You can automate everything. The game is not rigged. The rules are just different than they used to be. The people who feel hopeless are the ones who want the old rules back. The people who build wealth are the ones who learn the new rules and play by them. Remember Caroline and Nathan from the beginning. Both started 2026 with nothing. Both had the same income. Both saw the same scary headlines. Caroline felt hopeless. She decided the game was rigged. She did nothing. Nathan followed the blueprint, phase by phase, step by step, for 5 years. The difference was not intelligence. The difference was not luck. The difference was action. You are watching this video. You now know the plan. You now understand the math. The only question is what you do next. Will you be Caroline, frozen, waiting, hoping things get easier? Or will you be Nathan, taking action, following the math, building wealth one step at a time? The choice is yours. But I will tell you this, 5 years from now, you will look back at this moment. You will either be grateful that you started, or you will wish you had. Start today. Thank you for watching. If this blueprint helped you see a clear path forward, please share it with someone who is feeling hopeless about money. Subscribe for more videos about building wealth the right way. I will see you in the next one.